So let's do a quick recap of the last few games. So guys were hanging out in a curio shop, attacked by vampires. Right after the sky suddenly mysteriously went dark. You took them out, found another group of vampires outside that were herding humans, took them out, discovered there was a rendezvous point where this truck was going to, made your way there, killed a couple more vampires, came across an Atlantean vampire, also became aware that this was a point where several trucks would be converging. You saw a list of them. There were probably about 50 or so coming from all over the area. Rhode Island, out from Worcester, so that would be like an hour out. Some from farther north. So, maybe a 2 to 3 hour radius in terms of driving. There would be 50 or so trucks coming to that one point. You then met up with what was a mysterious figure kind of hanging up in the crowds that had been taking out a couple vampires, took out another one. Turned out to be a mutant former Hellion by the name of Cat's Eye. She befriended the party, and you became aware that her friend, Rain Sinclair, aka Wolfsbane, had been captured by some vampires. And that's why Cat's Eye was in the area kind of looking for her. You guys decided to head back to the curio shop, Bloodstone Curios. And as this is going on, you're getting some intel coming in. Right? Spitfire had some contact from MI13, two contacts. One, she became aware that some vampires were looking for her in England. And you received this communication from Faiza Hussein, aka Excalibur. And then also you got some information about somebody named Mortimer Goth, Mortigan Goth. That was somebody you had associations with. I'm not sure how much of that you shared with the party. Cullen had some contact with his sister Elsa, and found out that she was in the theater district of New York City, killing vampires as one is wont to do when one's last name is Bloodstone. She specifically was doing so with one Tandy Bowen, aka Dagger. One little detail that did come across in that conversation is Dagger was flying solo, not with her usually ever present friend Cloak. So it was just blank. It was Elsa and Dagger for those evenings festivities.
Doesn't have quite the same ring to it.
It doesn't have the same ring as Cloak and Dagger, yeah, for sure.
I assume that means Cloak is a vampire now.
Bloodstone and Dagger.
Bloody Dagger.
Bloody Dagger. Okay.
Dagger and the Rose Warriors. Huh?
That's what we landed on, right, everybody? I didn't hear any.
If you have an opinion and would like to make it known in character, by all means, go to a certain Rose Pastor's Facebook page.
We're not using that.
That's right. A Facebook page exists now, and there I have Alder has taken suggestions.
Yep.
I've got a couple of good suggestions.
Got a couple of good ones, yeah. Keep those coming. And we had a couple other little bits of information trickling in. Make your way back to Bloodstone Curios. As you get pretty much to the block right around the corner from it, you spot 3 drones in the air. The drones lay eyes on you or lay circuitry on you and immediately open fire, right? So these were hefty drones. These weren't the little toy remote control drones. These were more military grade drones. Obviously controlled by someone in the area, you would think. Took those out, although you did take some shots, especially since as you were walking, you were all kind of grouped together and each one of them had a submachine gun. And, you know, they were able to spread the damage around multiple people. So that definitely hurt. But you took them out and managed to get into the shop. It wasn't before long that you heard a helicopter outside, tried to figure out where that was coming from, looked out the windows, couldn't see it, checked the security camera that you had outside, didn't see anything out there. But then when you went outside, there was a creepy looking, tall, feminine looking vampire with a mask on, an ancient mask that immediately slashed at Spitfire and almost took her out in one shot. And then very quickly moved into the room, looked at the rose pastor, and made some sort of comment saying, like, I have him or I have eyes on him or something like that. So you know that this vampire had some type of communication, either within the mask or on her person somehow. Tough battle. Jen, I think Spitfire went down, if I recall, right?
Still at negative 12 health if we haven't had any recovery time since.
Yep. And also Cat's Eye I don't think Cat's Eye quite went down, but she was on death's door, and then still, you know, decided to press the attack, and it was helpful in finally taking this creature out. So that's kind of where we are now. Like, you guys haven't had a breather for quite some time. You finally got back to home territory, and it looks like, all right, and you can still hear helicopter sounds coming from, you know, you think still above the building, and you're just kind of taking a breather. What do you guys do?
Front door closed.
Let's say you haven't had an opportunity to do that. I feel like Spitfire would have been the one to open and close all the doors, like running real quick, closing, opening. That's what kind of got her in trouble. So we'll say no, the doors are
Do we
open.
still hear the helicopter?
Oh yeah, you still hear the helicopter.
Okay.
I'm closing the front door.
Okay. So are you still in werewolf form? I forgot where we ended,
Sure.
but we can retcon that if you want.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can say I'm still in werewolf form.
Yeah, I think we just ended the combat. So yeah, I need some guidance around, like, what can I do at negative health?
You don't have healing factor, right?
I do.
Oh.
Okay.
So
Oh.
I automatically heal. I think it's now 2 points every round. Of course, in non-combat.
It's based on your resilience.
Yes, it's based on my
So we
resilience.
wait a minute and then you
Not even like 30,
Yeah.
I
Right.
think 30 seconds, and you'll be back up to conscious, or 35 seconds and you'll get back
And
up
then
to
I
conscious.
do also have do this all day, so I can spend focus to gain health as well.
Okay.
So I am self-healing. I just need a little bit of time.
Yeah. And you know, it really will literally be just 30 seconds before you pop up.
I'll drag you over to a chair so you're not just lying on the ground.
Thanks.
Okay, great. So sounds like the Rose Pastor is going to be getting Spitfire a little more comfortable. The werewolf is going to the front door. Give me a vigilance check at the front door. Let's call it target number 13.
Sure. And I do have heightened senses, which I believe means
that'll apply.
I get to have an edge on vigilance checks too. So do.
Oh, and the
Vigilance.
vampire dropped an earpiece. We have an earpiece.
That's true.
Yes. Yep.
So my first roll for that roll to 13, I think that's what you said it takes. So
Yep.
do you want me to roll an edge to see if I can up that to a marvel?
Yeah, let's see if we get a marvel on
Sure.
that.
So re-roll that dice, roll. Goes up to a 15, but no marble.
Okay. So we'll say that you can hear the helicopter. It's we'll say you don't have eyes on it, but it doesn't sound like it sounds like it's maybe coming a little closer towards the front of the house. Also sounds maybe a little bit lower as well.
Yeah,
Before it sounded like it was kind of off in a distance, like maybe it was like flying over. It definitely sounds a little lower. And maybe even on your fur, you can even feel a little bit of the wind kind of kicking up just a little bit more.
Hmm.
All right. So yeah, I'm slamming the front door shut, locking it.
Mhm.
Basically at the same time I'm changing into human form so that I can
Okay.
speak
Mhm.
and, tell them we've got incoming.
I know my house pretty
Sounds
well.
like we have a helicopter landing.
Mhm.
I know my house pretty well. I know all the angles. Is there a place where I can get eyes on the chopper?
You could go up to the second floor if you
Yes.
wanted to. Okay. All right. Yeah. So you can go up to the second floor and we'll say there's a window you can kind of crack open, get yourself set up comfortably so you can be in that
Mhm.
sort of resting prone position.
Yep.
So you're not moving, which is what you need to do for the sniping power. You got to make sure you don't use your movement action. So we'll say, yeah, you can get yourself set up quite nicely over
Okay.
there.
Yep, I do that.
Okay. So we'll say by the time Connor comes back, Rose Pastor puts Spitfire up in a chair and Cullen runs upstairs and we'll say that Cat's Eye and we'll go up to Connor and say, big angry bird in the sky. Yes.
Big angry bird.
What's the plan?
I mean, I personally think step one is get rid of the chopper altogether.
Mhm.
Um, and then we can vacate the premises because
Okay.
otherwise we're leaving the entire mansion exposed to whatever the hell they want to do. So, and I'm
All
not
right.
okay with that.
Give me a vigilance check. Just Cullen.
It's non-combat.
You can apply heightened senses.
Yes, I have to apply heightened senses, and it goes up to 19.
Okay, cool. But still not a marvel.
No.
Okay. All right. You can see the helicopter coming down. Uh, it looks to be a not like a a true military helicopter, like a Huey or anything like that. But uh, certainly one that looks like it's been retrofitted in some way. So it's somewhere in between. You can spot a gun off the side, like not one that's mounted like in the front, like an auto cannon or something that would be mounted in the front that
Like
could be controlled.
like someone inside would have to be sitting on like it's
Yeah,
I have three questions. Question one is the gun manned by someone? Do I have eyes on the pilot?
you
And
don't. Same UV
so it's
coating,
got a
can't
UV
see
it's got a
inside.
UV coating, but I could probably guess where the pilot is sitting. It right?
Uh,
One would think. There's only so many places that a pilot can sit
I mean,
after.
vaguely, but in terms of you would not be able to target him.
I would not be able to target the pilot.
Right.
Okay. Can I tell uh is there any additional armor around like the propeller area or anything like that? So that if I shot at the propeller, is the propeller somehow extra protected than it would normally be?
Yeah, no, no.
Okay.
And in terms of shooting it, just to get a little bit meta,
Mm-hmm.
we you know, unluckily for you folks, the new X-Men book has just been published. This is the first game we will be playing, after which the X-Men supplement has been published, and it has vehicle rules in it. So,
Right.
I feel like I saw a video lately about
oh,
vehicles.
did you? Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, don't like and subscribe either. That's doing no one any good. So yeah, so we will be using the helicopter rules that are one of the basic vehicles. I made some slight moderations to them, created a unique vehicle. So I'll tell you the way, because I don't want this to be a surprise to you. This isn't a surprise mechanic. The helicopter itself
Hmm.
has a health value, right? And
Okay.
typically the way the game works is if you are inside of a vehicle, treat that the hit points you have to get through essentially like armor, right? Like anyone inside is not going to be exposed unless you take out the vehicle that they're in. A motorcycle might be different, right? A car with the window down might be different, but
Hmm.
per game rules, you can't target something you can't see, and you can't see, right? So your only option would be to either attack the vehicle, or I would let you separately, if there was somebody visible that was manning the weapon,
Hmm.
you if that person is visible, you could target that person, but treat those as separate um hit point pools.
Yes. Okay.
If you get the helicopter to half hit points, and it doesn't look like this thing has a lot of um armor on it or anything like that, right?
Mhm.
So it could just be, you could attack, you don't have to do anything special to attack it. You get it down to half hit points and it goes down to half movement. You take it down to 0, it's just like a character. It doesn't like automatically explode. It's essentially the vehicle version of unconscious, which is like
Mm.
broken. So
Mm.
if it was a car, imagine like power steering goes out, right? The hood is up, wheels busted, but you could still, if you were on the highway, you could still try to ease it off the road, and there's a deceleration that would happen, and that's built into the rule. So as soon as it becomes non-operable at 0 hit points, aircraft, if they've got wings, they can glide and they lose altitude fairly quickly, and then they crash. If you can still keep attacking it, and if it gets down to essentially death, negative its hit points or its health points, then it's destroyed. So if
Okay.
it's between 0 and negative its health, it's essentially broken and you can repair it.
But it would take time to
It would
repair.
take time in a lab, right? Or what the book calls a lab, but a mechanic shop, and it would take somebody with like gearhead, maybe, with the proper
Okay.
tools
I
to repair it.
I would like to make that second vigilance check if it's still available to me.
Yes, absolutely.
15 on that second vigilance check.
Okay. Marvel on it.
No Marvel. I did the reroll and it just came back.
Okay. Okay. Then we'll say you don't see anyone operating. At least you can't make anyone out.
Okay.
It's kind of hard to tell because right now it's kind of facing you, so you can see the gun kind of hanging off the side,
Okay.
but you can't see any hands, operating it or anything like that.
Okay.
You have an opportunity to attack now if you wanted, or based on the speed that this thing is going down, it doesn't look like it's in a hurry to land, right? It looks like something else is happening here. So you could probably get a couple of minutes at least before anything that requires immediate attention would happen. So other than this helicopter slowly landing, it looks pretty quiet outside. So that would, in game terms, I'll give you the choice. You could do something with whatever surprise you may or may not have at this point, or you could wait a little bit longer, and I'll say it'll be just long enough for you guys to, anyone with healing factor, to get back up to max. So that'll mean at least a couple of minutes. goes by. Won't take very long for people with healing factor to get the maximum hit points.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, I'm only down. I'm not down that crazy much, so yeah, I'm gonna go up to full hit points just by waiting.
Okay.
Um,
So it's
yeah,
really
I was
about
down less.
Spitfire then.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 2.5 minutes to get you up to full health. So that's like, I'll say you easily can have 2.5 minutes to
So then
to
I can
to
keep my
plan.
focus in case I needed it in a battle.
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay. So then if
Okay.
people are willing to wait 2.5 minutes,
Hmm. Um. Sure. I guess. I mean, I'm already full because I didn't. So I imagine as well. So I'd probably just wait until people started coming out of the chopper before I started shooting at things.
Okay. All right. Well, you shall get your wish. We'll say right at the 2.5 minute mark.
Well, so Alder
Mhm.
would like to take that time, right?
Mhm.
It's 2.5 minutes where he's like not doing much, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
he had a bit of a vision last time.
Hmm.
So I don't think he's really told anybody about that vision that he saw.
Mhm.
So and especially now that like he realizes that he, for some reason, I assume he doesn't know why, is a target. He's probably like to spend that time like frantically asking, "Hey, do you have any idea what this means? Like what that might have been? What, starting with Spitfire, who he's kind of tending to, and then maybe going to Cullen, who seems like he might know a lot about these things. Although I did
I
see,
imagine, I imagine Spitfire coming out of consciousness,
yeah,
staring at Rose Path and goes, "Oh, good, you're
hey,
awake. I have questions."
yeah, especially because I saw someone healing just like I saw her just healing in front of me, right, in my vision.
Other
I think
people
there
have.
was a werewolf of some kind in the vision too, so I might ask Connor. Yeah, I have questions for my companions, and I have no, they will definitely know more than I do.
All right, we'll say you have a captive audience, and Spitfire here is a little too tired to
Yeah.
move. So go ahead, ask away.
I don't know how much you remember, but when those vampires were in here, when that woman was in here, and I I use my power. I have this power. You've seen it, and I got this vision of something in her mind. She was fighting a red furred werewolf. There were vampires fighting.
As soon as you say red furred werewolf, Cat's Eye is like right up next to you, even though she's got matted, bloody fur. Like, did you say red fur werewolf?
Yes, yes. The
Rain?
woman
Was her name
lying
Rain?
there on the ground. I think she was fighting it. And
Fighting
uh,
what?
uh, I think she brought the werewolf down, killed it with her blades, but I believe I saw it healing itself at the very end of my vision. I think that's what I saw.
Did you was it a male or a female?
How would you tell?
Did she did and she says, did she? But then she corrects herself and say, did it talk?
Yes, with uh Irish, Scott.
Was she saying
I
like
can't
we
tell them.
this and body that?
I think maybe, yeah.
But she's like literally bouncing. Is she alive? Is she alive? Is she okay?
I think she didn't seem dead.
Only one dead. She's come back from worse.
uh, so bye.
Okay, so none of that would explain why they might be after me.
Jen will say at this point, her tail is like flipping back and forth excitedly, occasionally like whacking you upside the head. It's just
I guess I'm just trying to concentrate on getting back my own where I am and what I'm doing. But yeah, so Alder, if you think you saw a red fur friend, were you able to tell where this occurred?
Try to, you can see him trying to like think a little bit, which isn't his strongest suit, trying to remember. There was an Asian language, uh, and I don't know if he would be able to recognize it as Japanese, or not. Probably not. I don't think I know anything else about where it might have been.
Yeah, and that I think was just the sort of first person view that you had from
Right.
the now dead vampire woman. Right.
Yeah.
Cat's Eye runs
Asia?
over to the to the mask and just starts sniffing it and closing her eyes and just really trying to memorize the scent.
Well, and is Cat's Eye capable of scenting whether her red fur friend's scent was on the weapon that was being used by that vampire?
Yeah, let's well, the swords are still there, so she'll take a whiff. I imagine they would have been clean, so I'll set the TN fairly high. Nah, she can't. It looks like the blades are very finely made and probably have been could be hundreds of years old, but have been kept in pristine condition. So obviously whoever was tending to them would have cleaned them up after a battle and probably gotten rid of whatever scent just by cleaning and polishing them.
So, Alder, were you able to tell how long ago this was?
I just that it was in the past. It was a part of her iniquity. I don't know how long these things can live. I think a long time, but it wasn't color. It wasn't a black and white.
That clinches it.
He might not be that stupid, but
No, I love the idea that he thinks the world was in black and white like 60 years ago, 70 years ago.
Yeah, I remember when everything was black and white.
Cullen, you can see the helicopter is now beginning to get closer to the ground. It does look like it's moving to the ground now.
All right. I mean, I relay that information down the stairs.
Okay.
And the second someone steps out and I can see ahead, I shoot it.
Okay. Let's.
Is there something outside that I could easily run? Parked cars, parked motorcycles.
Yeah, I would say that there would be some cars on the street. Sure, it would take you like the way I have it envisioned, and even on the map that we used previously, there's like some stairs that go down, a little bit of a gate, a little bit of a pathway. So it might be like 5 steps to get to the road. But if you want, what you can do is you can preemptively get out, like as you see it's coming down, but before anyone gets out. Are you looking to throw something at somebody getting out, or throw something at the helicopter before anyone gets
Throw
out?
something at the helicopter.
Okay, so how many feet off the ground would you want the helicopter to be? Or it could just be as soon as Spitfire's up to full health, you go out and do it.
I was thinking like 20 feet or something like that. And if
Okay.
I could chuck a small compact car or
Yeah.
a bulky motorcycle, that seems like it'd probably be easier to throw
Yeah.
rather than like a big SUV or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I guess
Yeah, 100%. We'll say there is a small car
I mean
on
Cullen's
the
trying to take out the pilots and the occupants. I'm not that precise. If I
Okay.
can take out the entire thing, so be it.
Okay.
Anybody has,
So,
if anybody has any objections to that, speak now. And I shift into wolf form.
okay. So Colin, what I'll let you do is this is happening before anyone jumps out, but I will let you get sort of as soon as you see the big hulking werewolf get his claws into a Honda Civic and picking it up and about to launch it, you could even see that the helicopter looking to pull back a little bit, like it noticed him. Um, I'll allow you to get a shot off at the helicopter if you want.
Sure.
It'll tell them that you're there, but it'll be a free shot before initiative is rolled.
Sure.
Okay, great. So why don't you give me that shot? The um, I'll give you I'll give you an edge because they haven't seen you. You haven't made yourself known.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you an edge on that. And Connor, why don't you give me an agility
And
check?
there's no damage reduction, right?
There is no damage reduction.
Okay. And then I will do my. So I got an 18 to start. I'll re-roll the Marvel. And I'll take the 18.
Okay. An 18 will hit.
I don't know if it hits. 4 Marvel 4, so my roll was a 14 for the fantastic.
14 misses by 1.
Fuck.
And I'm not sure that there's anyone. And in
Within
fact,
earshot.
give me a vigilance check.
Vigilance.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to help? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
no one can see what he's doing, and technically this was kind of like a free attack before initiative started. So
Vigilance. I just get a 5 Marvel 4, so 17 on that.
okay. I'll tell you this. The helicopter reacts very quickly to the car getting launched at it. Like there is an expert pilot. He even does he kind of spins the whole helicopter around as the car goes by and continues to sort of somehow continue the descent and then right it perfectly as it goes down. So whoever's flying this thing is, I mean, you've not that you're a helicopter expert, but you know machines and how they work. And,
Mhm.
this is not a finesse vehicle and it's
Yeah.
being piloted like it's one. But you did get a Marvel on that, right? So that was a fantastic failure on the launched
Yeah.
car. All right.
Correct.
Any ideas on how we could resolve that? Anything you think?
Would my attack and also and damage, would that count? I don't know. Never mind. I might be doing something weird. So
I would say it spins out of the way of my attack,
mhm.
but potentially opens itself up to give
right.
Cullen an edge on his next shot.
How about, okay, if you want, I'll let you apply it to this shot. Up to you, Fish.
Oh, okay. So I'll do that. and
Okay.
and I'll take that roll and I get a Marvel on the thing. It's a
Nice.
Marvel, it's a
Awesome.
four Marvel 4 plus 4, so a result of 18. Okay, so the damage for that would be Marvel times 5 plus 4 times 2, right?
Mhm.
That's 68,
Nice.
and they're bleeding.
Awesome.
Oil or fuel?
Fuel, I don't know. What
Fuel is flammable.
Mm.
that's up to the GM.
Odds, fuel,
Yeah.
even oil. So oil. Yeah.
Okay.
You can see some thick viscous fluid coming out, and as time goes on, you might hear the rotors kind of like starting to sound a little chunky.
Nice.
All right, let's roll initiative.
Okay. I have a 12.
I got a 10.
18.
I got a 13.
13. Okay. Yeah, so we have one guy that gets a marvel. So on 13 in the bonus round, you see this big kind of beefy looking guy. He's wearing what almost looks like combat armor. He's got some big kind of pads on him.
Hockey
He
pad.
looks down at you, reaches from something on his armor and throws it down on you. You hear a tink, 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 and it
Oh.
rolls behind you a little bit. So it's a miss, but with grenades, there are a rule for how badly it misses you by, and it only missed by 1 square. So it goes off right behind you. So that's not even considering the fact that this was a fantastic failure. So technically, this still does hit. So there's this big explosion that goes off.
And I get thrown forward, I assume.
You don't, it's not like the force isn't enough to move you forward. The problem is, let me do some math here. The problem is the 24 points of health damage you take as your back is peppered with some sort of silver laced fragments of metal. And the people behind you, you can see this silvery blast. It almost looks like fireworks as it goes off right behind him. And then you just see him. Yeah, 24 points of silver damage. So that damage cannot be healed via your healing factor. So keep
Great.
that in mind. And now I think we need to make a little something we forgot last game called an ego check to avoid going berserk.
Yeah.
Target number
non-combat-
24. Good luck, buddy.
Yeah, really. Non-combat ego check is go and oh hey, I rolled an 11.
Oh,
I go berserk, which is kind of already planned on that. So let me know when it's my round.
okay. Rose Pastor, 18, beginning of round 1. You are inside. You hear the commotion. You just heard an explosion. You heard a car land. a car probably smash, I guess, into the street, if not hit a building behind the helicopter. Then you heard a gunshot, and then you heard a very loud explosion, and maybe even a little flash of light coming from outside.
And I saw Connor go out the front door.
Correct. Door's still open.
Which is pretty close to me.
Yeah.
But
Easily.
I saw Colin go upstairs.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Coward as I am. I don't think there's only Spitfire and Cat's Eye, I guess, too, but she's very hurt, are in here with me, right? So I want to be around as many protectors as possible, because not only is stuff going down, but they're after me. So I do want to at least check outside. So I don't know if I have enough movement to get outside or within eyesight of Connor.
Yeah, I would say, like, remember there was like a little foyer kind of in the front. There were kind of like 2 sets of doors on the map. You could easily get, we'll say you can get right to the front door.
Okay. Okay. So I'm tempted to use combat support here, although I'm wondering, like, what can Connor do before they land? I guess throw another car. Was that even possible? Are there more combat cars?
I'm gonna say, even though we don't track ammunition in this game, let's not consider compact cars ammunition, and that there was only There is
Yeah.
only one within easy reach.
Yeah. And the helicopter is still, how far away is it from landing, I guess?
We'll say it's about 20 feet off the ground.
Oh, okay.
I do have a map.
Ah,
So maybe Connor's
Oh,
in the
got that.
street. We'll say like he's like around over there. Picked the car up that was on the side of the road, launched it. You made your way just into the doorway there, and everyone else is inside, but within one movement of getting to the doorway if you wanted.
yeah. And I can't see Colin, who's up on the roof, right?
Yeah, Colin will say is like up there-ish.
Okay, then I use combat support. I am going to use combat support on Connor. I think it's probably flavored for me the same way as inspiration is. It's basically like a buffed up inspiration that uses focus, right? That helicopter, it's nothing to you. You got this. You can do this. So I'll spend 10 focus, and then I'll maybe like try to protect my body a little behind the door.
We'll kind of put you back over there, and we'll say that's enough to give you give anyone trouble trying to hit you because you're kind of ducking behind it a little bit.
All right, that's me.
Okay. On 16, the pilot of the helicopter goes, and Connor, you get a good view of this. Even though one person is looking to get out this side of the helicopter, looks like there's someone or something about to get out the other side.
Yeah.
The gun, with no one operating it, moves and points at you. And submachine gun damage. This is not silver though, so your damage reduction is 2, right?
Correct.
All right, so that is only so it's a 16. 16 just hits you, right?
Correct.
Okay. So 16, you take 13 points of damage. That's after the damage reductions all accounted for. Okay, so that was his standard action. And you can see the person I've put on the icon over there.
Okay.
With his move action, he is going to bring the helicopter down to like about 5 feet off the ground, which will allow people to exit without a problem. So he's going to go, and I will show you a picture of him. And he's kind of a creepy dude. Now that he hops off, this is what he looks like.
Oh,
Yes.
So he's got this kind of
Oh,
armor on, and he is surrounded by rats. And you can see the rats have things strapped to them. Wonder what those could be.
Mhm.
Wonder what those can be. Well, we're going to find out together.
Right.
He'll get closer. He'll get up. He'll get up there. And now, so he'll get
Either
within
I'm
2
gonna get
spaces
my-
of you.
either he's really dumb or I'm going to get my ass handed to me.
Yeah, he's going to take his pistols out. And now he's going to fire them at you using double tap. He has also a signature attack with double tap. So he'll be getting an edge on this. Hits 17. Fantastic success. Silver bullets.
Oh,
How much?
That's 72 points of health
Oh my
damage.
God.
Good Christ.
well, you're up.
72.
Yeah.
Okay. I am officially like below half.
Okay.
Okay.
But another hit of 72,
Yeah.
and I will be below 0.
Yeah.
Especially if they're silver bullets. That's really bad.
Yeah, well.
yep. Okay. Now I hate to say it, but he does have one other trick up his sleeve. And that is he has a few telepathic abilities, specifically with with animals, that he's able to do. He has an animal bond, and he has at least one little animal friend that he can convince it's for the greater good for him to run up behind you and blow himself up, not hitting his master. So a little rat jumps off of him, runs by you, and let's see here. I don't think I can get you and the roast pastor. That would have been fun. Uh, so he just gets like around over here, two spaces behind you, and then he goes kablooey. Not a ton, but it's 10 points again of silver damage. So yeah, just a little 82 points of health damage for you there. And now it's your turn.
Oh, sure. Thank
Mhm.
you. There's really no question about it. I mean, I'm already berserk, and I just got hit 2 more times. So I am, basically running at him with violent intent. So yeah, it's just going to be an immediate vicious attack. And as the pastor said, I get an automatic marble on my so
Okay. Yep. So give it a roll anyway, just
Uh,
to make sure you don't roll so low that you miss.
shut up.
His
Shut your
target
mouth.
number his target number is 16.
I rolled a 19, and so that's a 265. So that hits, right?
Yep.
2-1-5.
So two Marvel 5, yeah.
Cool, fantastic success.
Nice.
And so what does that do for
So
damage
double
and everything like
damage
that?
applies bleed.
Okay. So, but I didn't do I didn't do any damage resistance.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
he's got, oh, right. So
Because it's
he's
saying my damage
got,
is 42, but I know that's not going to be it.
right. His damage reduction is 3. 6 times 3, 18 plus 6, 24 times 2, 48 points of damage total. Right? Which is a nice
Okay.
hit.
And bleeding for whatever that's worth.
Yes, it's worth something. Great. Take your 5 focus loss. And we go to Cullen.
Am I in sniping range?
No,
Okay.
you're 10, barely 10 spaces.
Okay. And the guy but I have line of sight on the guy with the rats, right?
Yep, you can take this guy out, or you could shoot at the helicopter again. Either way.
I will spend 5 focus for stopping power, so I have a chance to get a second shot at him.
Nice.
So okay. And then I roll my agility and roll. Ooh, 19.
19 is a hit. His target number was 16.
So it is not a fantastic success, so it's 24 damage.
Okay, but silver, so all of that goes through.
Yep.
Okay, so boom, he gets hit with the silver. He sees the muzzle flash come up by you, and he grabs him, grabs himself, and then he shouts something back at the helicopter and points up in your direction. So I'll take another 24 off of him. All right. That was Colin. Do you want to take a move action? If you wanted to, what I'll let you do with the move action is since you're not sniping, you
Mhm.
could take a move action to kind of duck, and then with your next action, next round, you can pop back up with a move action and fire again, and then pop back down.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay, yeah, because if you're not moving, so that'll give trouble to anyone attacking you. Okay. Now somebody pops out the other side, and you see the helicopter kind of dip a little bit, much like when Connor, a couple games back, went into wolf form before he got out of the 18-wheeler to attack those vampires, and everyone in the back felt the truck shift a little bit. Kind of same vibes over here as this guy pops out and unfurls his wings. He was crouched over, and I'll show you what he looks like.
Man bat.
Pretty close. He looks like a giant gargoyle type creature, but he is big sized, and he does look like a giant bat. All right. He is going to kind of fly right up to there, gripping onto the windowsill, about ready to kind of rip his way through next turn. And that was a double move for him because it wasn't all flight. So it was definitely to your advantage. If he was already out of that thing, there would have been trouble. Okay. Now Cat's Eye goes. Cat's Eye has 6 health left.
Hmm.
Cat's Eye is gonna run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm gonna say there's like a little planter, couple little planters on either side of the door, maybe even on a couple of the stairs. She picks one up and launches it at the helicopter. So this will be another improvised attack. Rolls a 15, which misses by 1. She is only Jackie has yet to go. Can anyone give her a help
Indeed.
teammate?
Yeah. I still have my reaction.
Okay, cool. What do you think? I mean, you're right there. But so you see her come running out. She's looking for something. She goes to pick up like this little concrete, flower. It almost looks like a little stone vase. She picks up, she goes to launch it. What do you think you can do to give her a little assistance?
Oh, I think all Alder ever does in those situations, he's very hands off. Is point people the right like
Right.
that one. Yeah, just inspiring with words.
Okay. Roll the same.
Mm.
Anyone else have one they can use?
Oh yeah,
Good.
but I'm so far back. Do I have to be close in order to help teammates?
No, I mean you can see her, right? So you can see her. So you have line of sight to what she's trying to do.
Yeah, so maybe I'll yell the blades on the copter.
Okay.
Aim for blades.
Cool. Okay. So we'll take that reaction. That's a hit, and we got a 6. Not a marvel, but we got a 6 on the damage die.
Okay.
All right.
That is nice. So not a ton of damage, but still good. 15 points of damage as she launches this thing. It hits close to the rotors. Maybe it bounces, it shatters. Parts of it hit one of the rotors, and you can really see the rotors having a hard time. And in fact, at this point, the helicopter is at half speed because it's taken more than half damage. Neglected to mention that earlier, but we'll say for theme, it's cat's eyes hit that does it. Hits the blade. Blades are moving much slower right now. Still leaking fuel. Doesn't look like it's going to be in the air much longer. Nice job. Okay, now Jackie goes.
Right, so I think I have enough movement to make it out to Rat Vamp.
Yeah, I'd say that's 10. Yep.
So I think I will go run up to him and hit him with the silver dagger.
Nice.
So I've got my edge on melee attacks. Right, and I rolled a 6 Marvel 2 plus 4, which gives me an 18.
Excellent. And no, you're using your silver dagger.
Using the silver dagger, so I didn't have to do the damage reduction,
Right.
right?
And that was a 6 Marvel 4. And that was before
2.
6 Marvel 2, sorry. And that was before you rolled you didn't roll an edge, right? Yeah.
No, I did not roll an edge.
Okay. So yeah, you have a chance for a fantastic success then.
Okay. So
Right?
if
6 Marvel, yeah, 6 Marvel 2, you got a chance for a fantastic. Ultimate fantastic, I mean. So you might as well roll that low one, that 2.
yeah, so re-rolling the lowest one.
Yes.
That's a good sound.
616.
6.
That is a well-timed ultimate fantastic success. All right. With a silver dagger
Oh,
against the vampire. Awesome. How much damage does it do?
44 according to the automatic calculation.
Okay, and that includes the times 2 there.
That's Marvel times 3 plus 4 times 2. Yes.
Okay, awesome. So let's see.
All right.
How about? All right, I'll let you do this. I'll let you pick another condition because he's already bleeding, right? So I'll
Okay.
let you pick another condition. Your choice could be anything.
Oh,
Stunned, prone,
shattered,
well, not shattered
unconscious.
or unconscious. Yeah,
Dead.
Paralyzed.
not
That's
dead.
a condition.
Dead's
Okay,
the
I guess
best
what
condition.
about like pinned? What if I actually end up like on top
Sure.
of him, pinning him down
Yeah, sure.
also with the movement?
Yeah, love it.
Love
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah, so you come zipping out of nowhere. You know, this guy doesn't see you coming. You leap and you take this dagger and you stab it right through his shoulder, right through the armor, and it digs deep. I mean, it goes. It's like practically in his shoulder to get all the way down, and he is pinned to the concrete.
All right.
We'll say. Well, yeah, it won't matter now, but if you needed to get your hand free, we'll say that it's enough where you could pull your hand out and he would still be pinned because the silver's holding him down. Awesome. That was amazing. And that
Sweet.
was the end of round 1. Everyone get those reactions back. We go to Alder on
Yeah.
18.
Well, my plan was to try to stun or paralyze the one, but I don't think what is the condition he has now?
Pinned.
Yeah, okay. I don't know that I need to do that anymore. So still I do want to record what's going on there, right? But I did see the one fly, like cut out of the helicopter and fly up.
Absolutely did.
So I do want to go around and kind of like peek up, like what's going on over there.
Okay.
And can I see?
Yeah,
this
so you can get out over there and we'll say, yeah, well,
Okay.
well, let's call it here to really
Okay.
get a good look.
Okay. So it's flying, it's actively flying,
Mhm.
right? And in front of Cullen.
Yeah, I mean, its wings are still beating,
Yeah.
but it's hanging on to the windowsill. It's got like 2 of these giant claws on
Yeah.
either side of the windowsill, and you can see like its legs are up against the building, claws dug into the brick on the side of the building, and it looks like the wings are about like he's about to push his way through, and he's getting ready for one big flap to push his way through into the curios.
Uh-huh. All right. I'm gonna shout, "Foul beasts, reason with your god," and I'm going to use my reaction to do combat trickery, and going to use penance stare. I think I'm close enough to the creature.
Yep, that's 6. Yep, you are close enough.
Okay, so that's an ego attack, but with an automatic 1. So
Right.
5, 1, 3.
Nice.
Yeah, I
That
wish I
is-
could just change, like automatically change one of the die.
Mm.
And Demiplane, if you're watching this, so what is that?
That
So
is target number was a 10.
yeah, so very high.
Yes.
Fantastic success. And then the damage would be
Double damage, and he's paralyzed. So that's
Yeah.
focus damage.
36 focus damage, which if he has low vigilance, that could do it.
Doesn't do it.
Okay, but what I was really hoping for here was that paralyzation, since basically not a lot. I don't know if it's going to be able to keep its footing while up there.
The creature cannot move or take actions or use powers that require melee or agility. So he doesn't fall prone. That would be the trigger in my the wording that would.
Right.
But so
But
he's
also can't flap his
frozen
wings.
there. Yeah, but like I said, the wings
Yeah,
were
yeah,
just
yeah,
to
yeah.
get in. He was not flying. Right. If he was flying, that would be a problem. But he's
Yeah.
locked into this area pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe even like his body tenses up and his fingers grip into the building, kind of supporting his weight, his claws, toe claws as well, grip into the building, supporting his weight, even though the wings aren't going. But yeah, he's lodged in there, and he is not doing anything. That is big. All right, you've got a couple pieces of movement left if you wanted to head back in.
I'm recording,
Mhm.
so I wanna try to capture as much as I can. So I'm gonna stay out here a bit and try to get whatever I can that I think is going to be capturable.
Right.
The helicopter,
Okay.
of course, is real.
Right. Speaking of the helicopter goes now.
What turn is it?
Bleeding.
This is
so weird.
16. So that was the Rose Pastor on 18. It is the pilot's turn on 16. He is going to fire. Well, you see the gun again move by itself, orient itself on Connor and Spitfire. And you can see in this time, instead of it kind of doing a solo shot right at Connor, it's spraying the bullets in a little bit of a wider arc, not going crazy because he's got the wrap bomber right there. But we'll say he's actually going to use a move action to move up a little closer over here. Just wants to get away from that building just in case he loses control. Yeah, so he'll spray some bullets. Let's do this in the app.
And these bullets are not silver.
These are not silver. These are just these are just regular bullets.
Does that count as an agility?
This is an agility. Yeah.
Okay, then he will have trouble on the attack for me because I have slow motion dodge.
Right. Okay. So that's slow motion, and you also have blur.
Action. Yeah, so blur, I have to expend focus. Slow motion dodge, I don't even have to expend focus. It's
Got it.
just there. If I'm attacked against my agility, the enemy should have trouble.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, let's get this roll.
I don't know that I always invoked it in past sessions when I should have.
It's a 16 against Connor. That hits, barely hits.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I think it was he hit a 16 last time too, so just barely hits. The good news is you only take half damage. We took your sturdy into account.
Yep.
And you only take half damage, 17.
Okay.
And now I've got to do a reroll. Spitfire takes it down to a target number of 14.
But I have 12 for defense against agility.
Okay. So that'll just be 10 points of damage for you.
Okay.
And that's all he's got. So we go to the rat bomber. Now he is pinned. And I'm also going to say he's prone as well. He can do one of two things. He can either try and use his standard action to kind of get this dagger out of him, or he could ignore the pin condition and try to attack. I think he's going to get the dagger out because it's silver and it's going to cause damage to him again if it's in him. So he's got to try and take it out. I think what we'll do here is we'll use the escape action here. So he's able to pull it out, but that's his action. I'm going to say he wasn't able to use a reaction on that because it was an ultimate fantastic success last turn. He's got to use an action now. He uses 1 point of his movement to stand up. And then he's going to take a couple of steps back. And he's bleeding as well. So he's going to take some additional damage at the end of this round. So he's going to take a couple of steps back. And you can see he's reaching for another grenade. You don't need a move action to do that, but just to communicate what his intentions are, it looks like he's going for another one of those first grenade that he threw out, not attached to a rat or anything, just another one of those silver laced grenades. And then he'll take another 5 points of damage. Complete. All right. That was not happy times for him. And we go to Connor.
I'm still berserked. There's really no option. I'm going straight for I'm gonna try and rip out his throat. It's
okay.
Same as it always is.
Move forward.
Yeah, move forward. It's a 6-6-3, so my result's at 21. So
that's a hit. His target number was 16. Good, nice.
That's what I figured.
6 on the damage times 3 instead of 6 is 18 plus 6, 24.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. He is barely up. Colin. On 12 on 12.
He is. So there is a giant winged creature paralyzed stuck to my window.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can see he's paralyzed you can see his eyes are kind of rolling back in the head. He is elsewhere, right? He is reliving some kind of pain. His muscles are tense. It's not like he's his spine was broken and he's falling limp. This is he's
Yes,
clearly dealing with some shit.
Yes, good old preacher. Now is this actually a vampire? Like, can I discern that this is actually a vampire, or is this okay?
Yeah, he's just a big, weird, giant, monstrous looking vampire.
Okay, so in that case, I will use a silver bullet and do double tap. I got a 22, 666.
Good enough.
Straight sixes, 34 damage.
Right? That's the first physical damage he has taken. He has certainly taken some focus damage. And with your move action, do you want to kind of back up or?
Yes, I want to get as much distance from me and the creature as possible.
Okay, I will say, I know we don't have a map for this part of the curios that you're in, but in my mind, you're in a room that's probably no bigger 10 by 10. You could easily leave the room and shut the door and then start your way towards the stairs if you wanted to.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. So that's 2. Shutting the door is a free action. And we'll say you can get, I'll say, you can even get down to the bottom of the stairs.
Okay.
That takes us to Cat's Eye. Let's get crazy, guys. Let's get crazy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What I'm thinking is she's going to run 5 and then yell at Connor to duck and then jump with the remaining.
How many hit points does she have left?
She doesn't care.
Hmm.
Fair enough.
She does not care. That hits 16. Just hits. 6 on the Marvel die. Okay, so he's got sturdy 3. She just got an extra point of mighty. So it would be 6 times 4. It's now 6 times 1 plus 3. That's 9 points of damage. He had 5.
Woohoo!
Ooh.
She takes half. She had 6. Half of 9 is 4. She's still up with 2 health.
Wow.
And she lands just on him. Yeah, she lands on him. He's down, blood all over the place, and kind of turns around, looks up at you, even though she's got like more fresh bruises on her face, and gives you a smile with blood on her teeth, Connor, and then looks towards the helicopter. Okay, next, round 2 on 12. The large bat creature up over here. Can't really do anything because he's paralyzed from the penance stare from earlier in the round. So he'll spend that time being paralyzed. But also, we'll say those of you on the ground can see this. Maybe Cullen, you can't make this out. But as he's coming out of his paralysis, you can hear growling sounds getting much louder, much louder. You can
Okay.
see saliva beginning to drip down. You can see the fingernails, the claws beginning to rip into the wall, into the window pane, the windowsill. And Connor, you would recognize this as Berserker Rage. So the damage that he took from Cullen before Cullen ran out, as he's coming out of the paralysis, it's driving him into a rage. It was 34 points. No chance of beating that on an ego check unless you rolled an ultimate fantastic success. So he is officially a Berserk. That takes us to Spitfire on 10 to close out round 2.
Okay, but that gargoyle guy
Mhm.
he's up on a second floor, right? So I can't
Correct.
run over to him. Then
Correct.
I'm thinking that now that Rat Bomber is down, that I would probably go after the helicopter.
Okay.
So I don't really have ranged attacks. Unless wait, did I hold on to a gun that Connor had given me? Wait, I did.
Yeah, you have a
I
pistol.
did have one. Okay, so I could swap out my
Easy.
dagger
Yeah,
for the
sure.
gun that I just remembered I have.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I guess I better do that. Okay. So I will do that and then
Throw the pistol. No.
or- I'll aim for Mr. Gargoyle.
Okay.
And, see what kind of damage I can do on him. So I'm entering damage reduction of -2 and rolling, and I got a 5, 5, 1 plus 2 equals 13.
That hits because he's berserking.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Okay, so 5 times 1 plus 2 would be 7.
Okay, great. So 7 points of damage on him. Hits him in the back, and it doesn't fully really register on him between the rage that's building up, but you definitely did that damage. Let me reduce that. Okay. You want to take a move action?
I mean, this is a fine pistol range to be at.
Yeah.
And I'm not foreseeing anybody attacking me unless it's you know, the helicopter and the or the
Mhm.
I don't see much advantage in moving.
Okay.
Unless I'm providing cover for the Rose Pastor.
Right.
Which I'm sure you would love.
Speaking of the Rose Pastor, it is the Rose Pastor's turn. Top of the order, top of round 3. Everyone gets their reactions back.
So yeah, as I can see, I'm still looking up at this bat man,
Mhm.
man bat, and knowing it's coming out of its paralysis, I've already weakened its resolve a bit. I'm going to again try to penance stare.
Okay.
So another ego attack.
And the ego is defense is increased because of Berserker, as we just discussed. So it wasn't great. It's better now. We're looking at a 13 target number.
Here we go. 5 Marvel 1.
Good.
18.
On the
Excellent.
penance stare again without
Huh?
your stupid combat
Yep.
trickery.
That is the
No
best
combat
power
trickery.
ever.
Natural roll.
Mother. All right.
All right.
I gotta say, I love that Rose Pastor's entire power is basically being like a spiritual Karen. And like, you can't do that. That is not okay. That is against the spiritual laws. Okay, you need to stop right now.
All right. What was the damage, the focus damage there?
This is 36.
36 again.
Yeah.
All right. I would say he's not at 0
Okay.
yet, but you can feel his will shrinking. The rage is still there. Now, remember also he loses 5 points of focus each round. So that's ticking
Because of
away at
Berserk,
it
yeah.
as well. Right.
Fantastic.
So yeah, that's going to become an issue real quick.
Down.
I'm gonna say the same rules apply. He wasn't technically flying; he was kind of held on there. It just says he
especially
can't
Berserk
move.
probably
Yeah, he's paralyzed and berserk. He's just like
he's a gargoyle up there.
yes, he very much is a gargoyle now. All right, that was effective. Do you want to take any move actions? Are you fine hanging out on the stairs there?
Knowing they're paralyzed, there's some I understand there's some combat going on behind me, right? So I probably will run inside a bit.
Okay.
Just inside the door, yeah.
All right, so we'll just put you over here. That good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. That takes us to the pilot of the helicopter, who you haven't seen yet. Everybody give me some vigilance checks, and Connor, you can give me you can take an edge on that. This is to anyone who has
Do I need I've clueless, is that
yes, yep,
yeah.
and you would take your
Trouble.
trouble.
A trouble, I re-rolled the highest die, is that right?
Reroll the highest die and replace it with the lower of those two.
17.
12.
Anyone else? Anyone
I
get
got
over
11.
11?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
So
got a
Jack,
12.
you
You heard
got
mine.
12. Okay, cool. All
Yeah.
right. So Connor, you are the only one who hears this, but you hear the pilot inside shouting a couple things. First, you hear him shouting for back up, we need backup. And then there's a moment, and then you hear, what do you mean we were the backup? And then he'll turn the helicopter so the gun bay, he doesn't have to turn it much, but so the gun bay is facing you. You know, he'll rise
Yeah.
up a little bit more, and then he'll kind of tilt the helicopter down a little bit to make the gun facing you. Unfortunately, you and Cat's Eye a little easier, and is going to spray you with the submachine gun fire once again.
and we'll miss.
Let's see. Nope. That is a 18 with a 6 on the Marvel die. Now, this is not
Good.
not silver, so that's good for you.
Oh,
However,
hallelujah.
it is not good for Cat's Eye.
Mhm.
So Cat's Eye is going to take 31 points of damage,
Oh no.
which puts her into the negatives. So she is
Yeah.
unconscious,
well into the negatives.
well
She
into
only
the
had, like-
negatives. Remember
She
when you
only
hit,
had like 2 to begin.
yeah. Oh no, so I'm sorry. It's half damage because it's the way the submachine gun works. Still into the negatives. She's at negative. She had what, 2? So she's at negative 13 now. And you take you got sturdy 2. So that's going to be less for you. So 5 times 3.
Was there any chance that I could have a reaction to like cover, like dodge for Cat's
Nah,
Eye?
you gotta
Away?
be, yeah, you gotta be within reach. Yeah.
Yeah. Darn it.
So Connor, you only take 7.
And I don't have a chance to do a reaction to try and like shield her. Do I?
You could. I'll have you take the full damage.
Can I do that full in berserk mode too? Or does berserk preclude that?
No, I don't think there's any reason you can't. Yeah, so you can use the interpose reaction. And I'll just say you'll take, let's figure this out as regular full
'Cause
damage.
I have 50 health.
You'll take 15 points of damage.
I will take 15 points of damage.
Okay. Yeah. So, yep. So let's rewind that. You can see he's ready to spread, and you just put yourself right in front of the line of fire, kind of bulk up a little bit to protect Cat's Eye. She shrinks down behind you, and boom, 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 boom. You take, several bullets. Luckily,
Okay.
again, not silver, but 15 points of damage, considering that's what, a third or so of your remaining hit points.
I'm now down to 35
Okay.
from 180, I believe was my starting.
Okay.
I've got beat up in this fight.
Yeah. So we're gonna say he gets up a little higher, and you'll probably hear him continue to say, he'll probably curse that guy. It's like, fuck, I can't take any of them down. He'll say, only you will hear this. They did something to the Carpathian. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna bolt. And we'll leave it at that. So that was the pilot's turn on 16. Connor, it is your turn on 13.
How high is the helicopter now? Is it still 20 feet above the ground?
No, I said he went up a little higher, so he's like 40, we'll say 40 feet.
Okay, I don't think I can jump
No.
that far. So I would know that. So fuck. All right. Then yeah, I guess throwing something that was on his body is probably the most sensible thing. And I just happened to grab a grenade.
Okay.
So sure,
Yeah.
I will lob him. I A werewolf will lob a grenade at a helicopter that's been trying to shoot it in observe
Awesome.
mode. Sounds like a great idea.
Awesome.
I'm
Make an
gonna,
agility.
I will say I'm going to pull the pin before I throw the
Sure.
grenade.
Yeah.
But I'm pumped.
Sorry, you
All right.
didn't explicitly say you threw the pin.
I was gonna say, and I will throw the grenade itself. Exactly.
Right.
You said agility. Agility.
Yes.
I was excited because I rolled a 16, but it's actually a marvel. So it's 4 marvel 6.
Oh, all right. Let me look up
Yay.
the grenade rules one more time because I just want to make
And
sure
I was
that
I-
doubles.
my agility stuff has
Not-
been like really weak. So I was prepared to like throw hero points at it and shit like that.
Right.
Or sorry, karma points.
So it's Marvel. So it's the Marvel times 2. So it's 6 times 2, 12 points of damage times 2, 24 points of damage.
Hmm.
And that is going to be just enough to bring the helicopter down. Now, the way this works, it doesn't like explode. Well, you
I
throw the
was gonna
grenade,
say,
it
did the
hits the
grenade go
rotor.
inside?
It hits the rotor.
Okay.
Well, you know what? Do you want it to? I mean, it's a fantastic
Would-
success, so I'll let you decide.
I'm wondering which would do more damage. The grenade blowing up the rotor, which would bring it down, like you said, or the grenade blowing up inside, which has the chance of potentially harming the pilot and destroying all the controls inside.
I would say that's the fair trade. We'll say if you hit the rotor, it's gonna come down. If you throw it on the inside, it'll do some damage to the pilot and some of the mechanics on the inside.
I'll tell you what, screw it, let's bring it down. We can deal with the pilot after it's down
Okay.
on the ground.
All right, so you throw it towards the top, it explodes, rotors, bits of the rotors, start flying. The thing starts going into a tailspin. I have the opportunity here to get, so this is basically a potential crash situation.
Yep.
And I did not roll very good at all on his agility check. So we're going to say he tries to, one thing I'll let you know is the gun all of a sudden goes limp. It was aiming in your direction and it just goes limp, like somebody invisible had dropped it or dropped the end of it that you would normally hold to kind of fire it down. And you can see the helicopter sort of jerking and reacting in very strange ways, but ultimately it just crashes into this building. We'll say crashes into the second floor. Odds it gets stuck there, evens it falls down, evens it falls down, and then falls down to the ground. It wasn't going that fast, but the driver still will take some damage. The way this works is the driver does, when there's a crash, driver will take damage. If the driver is wearing a harness, which you can possibly assume a pilot might, that damage, I believe, is halved as per the new rules. And it doesn't, it's a crash. It's bad, but
Seatbelts say
knowing
why.
that there's a seatbelt and he's a vampire that's got damage reduction. So you would guess this is not something that would have killed an otherwise unhurt vampire. Okay, cool.
Good.
You're next to it. If you want, you could take a you could still take an additional move action. We'll say that you maybe used
Does it
one
look like
point
it's
in
about does it look like it's about to blow up, or does it look like I could go in there and get the pilot?
Give me a logic check, but you've got what, gearhead?
I do.
Give me an edge, but a logic check with an edge, and we'll say
Okay, straight
we'll
up
keep it
logic check without
keep it
doing
a
the edge
13.
yet was a 10, so I'm gonna
Okay.
roll the lowest. Roll that 2. Roll. Sorry, it was an 11.
Okay. You're not sure. One thing I will point out though is that if you remember and this is something you can just plainly see, no vigilance check needed. If you remember the helicopter had taken some damage that caused a bleed on it. It was bleeding, I believe, from a shot from, I think it was from Cullen.
Yeah.
So so that it was leaking oil, some sort of viscous fluid to begin with, and you can see there's a pool of that kind of growing right now. Okay. Does that
I can't attack this round yet because I just did.
Correct.
That's how I brought the helicopter down.
Right.
So I will not take a move action.
Okay. All right. In that case, we go to Cullen. So Cullen, you are at the base of the stairs now. It's probably going to take you 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say you can get right behind the rose pastor with your first action and can't really see any enemies from where you are. So you could use your standard action to move again, or you can do something else with your standard action that doesn't involve an attack if you like.
Right. So if I move there, I guess the best thing for me to do would be to move past the rose pastor,
Mhm.
get outside so I can get a different angle on the creature.
Okay. So that's 2 movement. Do you want to go any further? We'll say you probably have to go down at least couple more stairs, 5 more feet to get a good shot at him.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have that action this round, right?
No, so so that was 2. You can move up to 3 more spaces with your second by using your standard action as your second movement action, which grants you 5 squares of movement.
Right, but then can I still attack?
No, no, like this is where your first movement action ended, so there's nothing to attack. So there's no way you can attack this round.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna stay there. I'm not even gonna use the bonus action. There's no point.
Okay.
Like, hey, I paralyzed him again.
Yes. Good job, buddy.
All right, so you use your remaining movement
Yeah,
to
I
give a
just
neck
give them-
massage to the rose pastor. Got it. And we go to Cat's Eye. What is Cat's Eye gonna do? Let me make a vigilance check for Cat's Eye. Ooh, Marvel on the die. Cat's Eye starts sniffing around and looks at the helicopter and starts sniffing at the helicopter and just starts saying, "Ready for a friend?" And then runs into the helicopter.
Oh no.
Oh,
And you just start hearing Connor, you start hearing the same voice you recognize as the pilot, screaming like, "What the and Cat's Eye is going to make an attack at an unidentified enemy, at least to you guys. You hear ripping and tearing and scratching and some moving around, but it's more, all you hear is more of like shock rather than pain coming from the inside of the helicopter. So now the creature that you had heard the pilot refer to, at least Connor refer to as the Carpathian, goes again, loses another 5 focus for being berserk, spends his round paralyzed, so it gets through that, He's not doing great on focus. And that's all that he can do. And we go to Jackie. Your
All
turn.
right. Well, I think at this point, Jackie would be very disturbed about Cat's Eye running into the helicopter and would follow her.
Okay.
So
Yep.
run into the helicopter and attack whoever I find
Oops.
there.
Yep. You can zip in there and you see.
Okay.
So this is what you see.
Oh,
So
Nice
it's a vampire. You can see he's dressed in flight gear, except he does have a large number of wires, cables that are attaching him to a whole bunch of circuit boards all around him. So the inside of this helicopter does not look like a standard military grade. It looks like uh, almost like a nest of wires and added equipment that this guy seems to be sort of attached to in some way. He's in the cockpit. Again, it's a modified helicopter, so it's not a standard kind of cockpit.
So he's not exactly going to run out and attack us outside the helicopter.
Doesn't he would have to detach himself in some way, which I mean, he's got like legs. I mean, you don't see this, but Spitfire, you know, he looks human, right? It doesn't look like he's fused to this equipment. It's these cables. So it looks like if he just removed the helmet or took his jacket off or just ripped these cables out of him, he could remove himself and fight normally. He doesn't look like let's say he doesn't look like the Carpathian up there or the size of the rat bomber in terms of his physical presence.
Okay. But I think, because he's a vampire, I would just be going for, whatever I can get as close to a killing blow.
Okay.
Because
All right.
um
It's a target number is 15.
okay, and I'm going back to my silver dagger and a melee attack. Does he have damage reduction?
Of 2, yes.
Okay, so I'm rolling with a 2 damage reduction. And I got exactly a 15.
Nice.
164 plus 4.
Awesome. How much damage?
That's 10 damage.
Okay. All right. So he hisses at the silver, and maybe you even cut through a couple of cables it would be almost impossible not to. There's so many of these cables all over the place. He hisses, but he's still definitely up.
And then can I also
Wait a minute. Just rewind.
what?
You were attacking with silver. Did you apply damage reduction? You asked me for the damage
I
reduction,
did
but
it. Yeah, I did apply damage reduction.
okay, if you're attacking with silver, you don't have to worry about that. Remember?
Oh, right. Okay, so then instead of 3 minus 2, it would be 6 times 3, so 18 plus 4. That's much better.
22. 22
Yeah,
is much
there you
better. All right, great. 22 points of damage. I'll take another 12 off.
And then is there a way that I can make sure that I'm between Cat's Eye and him? Well, I guess she's gonna attack and try to go.
It's melee, but what I will say is you've got
I've got
silver,
reactions.
and his reaction to your silver was and she didn't attack or do any damage. So he's focused on you for various
Okay,
various
all right.
reasons.
I've sufficiently distracted him.
Yes, 100%. Well done.
All right.
All right, that takes us to the top of the next round. Round 4, Rose Pastor.
Okay. A little nervous about this. So I can see the pilot, right? The pilot makes themselves shown to all of us.
No, only the
Okay.
people inside the helicopter can
Oh,
see
okay,
the
okay.
pilot.
All right. Well, still a little nervous about what's going on out there, but still, I've got my focus. I'm going to step out a little bit.
Okay.
And do it again.
All right.
Once
what
someone,
are the chances of you
once I
getting?
realize how much someone needs atonement, I'm persistent. Yeah, let's save this This one's soul. All right, you go, Chad. 18.
18 definitely hits. He was only a 13, even with the berserking.
My Marvel die was a 5, so 16 damage.
16 focus damage. That puts him under 0.
They are demoralized. The character is mentally burned out. Any powers they are concentrating on end, and they have trouble on all action checks.
Does that break the berserk?
It does. At the end of the berserker is at the end of the character's turn, they lose 5. When their focus is reduced to the point that the character could not voluntarily spend any more focus, the berserker state automatically ends. So, yeah, no
Carry
longer
the
berserk,
berserker state.
trouble on everything, can't use any focus-based powers. That's big. Well
Yeah.
done.
Now run back inside.
All right. So that was 2, 1, 2. Do you want to get next to
Sure.
Helen? There you
I'll let him know.
go. Kick some ass up there. All right. Now the pilot goes. All right, he's going to spend 5 focus. He's going to make a logic attack against Spitfire.
A logic attack?
A logic attack.
Hmm.
Yes, indeed. Let's
So-
see what happens.
So like blur and dodging and stuff will not get me away from this.
You can't blur your mind. 14 against your logic. Does that hit?
Yeah, 11.
Okay. Take 13 points of let me just double check here. This is
Focus
Uh,
damage.
yeah,
Oh,
it should be
no.
focus.
Yeah, that's bad because I only have 9 focus. Think about this before.
Yeah, it is regular focus damage. Yeah. Yeah, this was telepathic blast. So yeah, okay. So then that puts you into the
So-
demoralized.
Yeah, I'm afraid. Yeah. So once I'm demoralized, then I have trouble on everything.
all
Yep.
action checks.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's not good. It's not what you want.
Nope.
Wow, that's more demoralization in one round than we've had, I think, in the entire
Really?
campaign thus far.
So far, yeah.
Okay, so that was just his standard action. What is he? Does he's gonna use his move action to get to unbuckle his harness, take off his helmet, and then unplug a whole bunch of things. And then as he does this, you can see there were some lights on in the inside of the cabin of this helicopter, and all of them start to dim, almost as though he was sort of fueling some of the electronic equipment in here.
Hmm.
Actually,
well,
we'll say he's got there were 3 things that he did. We'll say that he's able to get out the other side. He's got 2 more spaces, so we'll say he's able to get out the other side of the helicopter.
oh, that chicken shit piece of shit put a helicopter between me and him.
Well, you can still get around them.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, it's Connor's mindset is pretty clear. He is charging and attacking. I mean,
Okay.
there is no option at this point. He's on the
Okay.
ground, and yeah.
All right. It's a 15.
I just rolled a 16, and that's not using any edges or anything else like that. So
Nice.
1, 5, 4. I did not do damage reduction, so he gets damage reduction, right?
Of 2, correct.
Okay. Damage reduction +1 +2. Roll. 22.
22. Okay. That down, -22.
How
right.
happy is he? How happy is he dancing now?
Um, he's I would say he's not quite down to half yet. Sure.
Uh, but now he's got 300 pounds of snarling werewolf on top.
Yeah,
Of
I mean, yeah, he's cursing. He's just like you could hear his heartbeat. You're so close to him now. Let me move you right
I
up on
hope
him.
I can taste it.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. And more soon, I'm sure. Okay. Uh that was Connor Cullen.
Yes. What can I do now?
So you can move out and you can
Yeah,
get another shot
I
at
want to
the
try to get I want to move out and uh I guess I can only be I can't do a full on sniper shot. I'm not that far away.
yeah, that's not 20
But
spaces.
I can do a double tap because that won't cost me any focus and then he'll be bleeding technically if I get a good shot. So I think I'll do
Uh,
the
who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Carpathian.
Okay. Okay.
So
Yeah,
and I have 4 silver bullets left and I'm going to use one.
nice.
So we'll roll attack and there's no damage reduction. So roll. That's a 17 and 24 points of damage.
Nice. Another 24 on the Carpathian. Yeah, Carpathian is a big bucket of hit points, but
I'm sure he's got a lot of hit points. So, but every little bit counts, right?
yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So, okay.
You have a couple more movement left if you wanted to take it.
I want to get some more distance from him so
Mm,
I can start to get further away and then maybe be able to do a sniping shot. So I want to
okay.
move. Yeah. So I want to
All right.
move.
So I think that you just moved, I think you were here, so you can move one. Can go
Whatever
like
my
there.
maximum movement can be.
Yeah. So you can move another 2.
Okay.
Put yourself back over there.
Okay. So yeah. So I'll stop there and then yes.
Okay, cool. And that takes us to Cat's Eye. Yeah, Cat's Eye is she's just gonna keep going in. I think she's gonna just keep going in and continuing to use vicious attack. Just miss. Rolled a 14. Would anyone like to give her a hand with a help
Can I
teammate? We'll
while
say
she's
only the
behind?
people. Yeah, I would say it could only be either Connor or Spitfire.
And this is Cat's Eye, and she's starting to like attack the pilot as
Yeah,
well, right?
you just see a big ball of purple fur out of the corner of your
Oh,
eye
there's
going
no
right at
problem. I will absolutely help her facilitate that.
him. Yeah,
Like I
okay.
said, I've gutted him. I'm basically down on top of him, and she comes over to start to attack. I will happily just like
Yep.
shove him in front of her claws.
She
Let
rolled
her
that
get her
wasn't
licks
good
in.
enough. She rolled a 1.
Oh.
So still a 14. Uh Spitfire, do you want to use one of yours?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I still can do help
Yeah.
teammate while demoralized.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah, no reason you can't.
from the cockpit, I mean, maybe I will just clear the path for her, like when she's trying to get out, like if I
Sure.
can tell which way she's going, like if there's like cables and stuff in her way,
Love it.
make sure that she can move through there.
Yeah, we'll
Maybe
say you kind of as you see the determination in her eye, she's going to go through this, and we'll say maybe some of the cables are sparking a little bit. You're able to slice some of them and get them out of her way, giving her a clearer shot. So let's see if that does. It does. All right. Just barely got her up to a 15. The good news is that's a 5 on the Marvel die. So that is 13 points of damage on the pilot after damage reduction. So yeah, you can see more claws in his back, and he's not, it's not the same hiss of pain when he gets hit with silver, but he's clearly almost brought down to his knees by this as he's trying to look for some other route of escape. Carpathian goes. So the Carpathian can finally actually do something after 2 rounds of paralysis and no longer being berserk and now being demoralized. So awesome. That's fantastic. He is going to turn around, see Cullen, who we last saw before he was paralyzed for 2 rounds on the inside of the building. He turns around and sees him on the outside, and his wings spread wide. He leaps off, pushes off the building. And by the way, he's really screwing up your sighting here, or the brick face, whatever you've got going on here. No regard for this beautiful old building of yours, causing lots of damage. He doesn't care. He flies towards you and goes in, swoops down, flying to attack. He's got a couple of options here. No, he doesn't. He can't use anything that costs focus.
Yep. He can basically stumble around.
So
Like
it's
attack.
basically vicious.
Anything he does would have trouble, right?
Yeah. So it's vicious attack with trouble. You have damage reduction?
I have damage reduction -2.
Awesome. We'll plug that in. Ooh, that's a dog shit roll. That's a 3-3-2.
Did he
3 on the
miss?
Marvel.
Did he just miss?
He hit a 15 on your melee.
He hit a 15 on my melee.
Was
I
that
haven't
before
done-
trouble or after trouble?
I haven't done the trouble yet. I'm seeing.
So
What's your melee?
My
defense?
agility is 14. It has
Yeah,
to be
but
on
I-
my,
It's
'cause I have
melee.
evasion. I have evasion though. So
Oh, okay. Okay,
I
great.
will use my agility. So 14.
Okay, so let me do the reroll on the Marvel die. Rolled another 3. So he does hit.
He hits. Okay.
He does hit. He's got a ×5 modifier there. So that knocks it down to a 3. So that's 16 points of damage after the damage reduction. So 16 points of damage to you. Health.
Okay.
So yeah, you can see he's sort of wobbly in his flight, and he lands kind of awkwardly and hard in front of you. He looked like he meant to try and land on you. One knee goes down to the ground, but he does still manage to connect with a claw.
I'm just
And-
wondering if there's something in here that I'm not thinking about that would actually I guess not.
Okay, that takes us to Jackie.
I'll just keep on attacking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go after the pilot.
Okay,
And
so we'll move you to the outside.
mm-hmm.
We'll say we'll put you there. Is that okay?
I've still got a silver dagger, so I'll go do a melee attack, and then I don't have to do the damage reduction because it's silver, right?
Mhm.
The first was a 5, 3, 3 plus 4 equals 15. So I'm selecting the 5 to reroll.
Okay.
And I got a 4, 3, 3 plus 4 is 14.
Okay, so a 14 is just gonna miss. But we can have luckily Cat's Eye has not used her reaction, and we're at the end of the round, so no reason she
Mhm.
shouldn't give you the help teammate. So we'll say as you go by, she feels you probably zip right by her, and knowing that you're super fast, she tries to distract him with a roar, kind of takes his attention off of you for a second. So let's give that reroll, see if that helps.
And that gave me a 15 for 4, 3 plus 4.
Fantastic. That's exactly what you needed to hit.
All right. So that should do 16 damage.
16 damage. Awesome.
4
right.
times 3 plus 4.
All right. He is not liking this situation at all. All right. Next round, Rose Pastor.
Okay. I think at this point, seeing this creature who I know I've demoralized,
Right.
Jack and Colin there, I am gonna whip out a vial of holy water
Nice.
and chuck it at the giant man bat attacking my friend. 18. 636.
All right.
Awesome. That hits.
3 times 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12.
Cool. So 12 points of, and again, this can't be healed by the healing factor. Awesome.
All right.
Nice job. 12 points out of Rose Pastor, and now the pilot goes. You hear the sound of a car starting up down the road, just a little up the road from the map here, not within view. And lights come on, headlights come on, and the pilot runs towards that vehicle as the vehicle starts to move slowly towards him, and the door opens for him. And he runs passenger side and gets in the vehicle. That's all he can do this turn. But
Aw.
he's not on the board here. So we'll have to just imagine him, up a ways. But yeah, he has put himself in another vehicle, and it's clear now that, the same way he was operating the helicopter, operating the gun, he has some ability to operate machinery. And yeah, just uses his move action to get inside, but that's all that he can do. So that takes us to Connor.
I think at this point I'm just gonna run up and kind of flip the car over.
Okay.
Cars don't work that well if the wheels are not touching the ground.
True.
Okay, just straight melee attack.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're looking to flip it, I'll say, yeah, just a melee attack.
Okay. 16.
Yes, you're able to do that. And I'll say, if what you want to do is flip the car, you can easily flip the car.
Seems like the easiest way to stop it.
Yep. And regardless of the number of hit points it has, it's a turtle on its back. It can't do anything. So, even with his mental capacities, he can't do anything.
Right.
Okay.
Now, question: when I flip it over, does that, crush the top? Does it trap him? Does it injure him?
Would you get on the Marvel die?
On the Marvel, I got 4.
Okay. So instead of 4 times 6, it's 4 times 4. So 16 plus 6, 22 points of damage then.
Yeah.
Accounting for his damage reduction. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fair. For this is a crash. He did not have time to put a harness on. I'll say that's definitely fair for you to give him that 22 points of damage. Why the heck not?
Cool.
Especially since I'm sure you were not being gentle. Maybe the car flipped a couple of times.
Oh yeah,
maybe even just to get him back on the board. Maybe you flip it back a few spaces towards the center of the road here. So
Sure.
he's back on the map.
Anything to help you out.
Thank you. All right. So another 22 on him. Cool. Cat's Eye now goes. Cat's Eye is going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I guess she'll stay right there. Let's put him in this square. And yeah, same thing. She's going to get another attack in. No regard for her health. That is going to be a miss. You get a 2, 3, 4. So that's a total of 12, missing him by 3.
I'll use my reaction to help her.
Okay.
And I will basically yell Britishisms at her. It's called effort love. Show some.
At some point, these are going to start granting trouble on the die. Does it? 16 total.
That's right. My best Gordon Ramsay right there.
All right. So that's 13 points of damage after damage reduction on this guy. So he had 20 after the 22, 13. He's looking not so great. One more hit like that at a cat's eye, and he would be down. But that takes us to the Cullen. I think we skipped Cullen should have gone before cat's eye. So Cullen, why don't you go?
Oh, okay. I got skipped.
I mean, you were both on 12, but yeah.
It's okay. Either way, it's fine. Stopping power. I'll spend 5 focus, and since he's that close, I will just pull out the pistols and unload them right into his mouth.
Nice. All right, give me a roll.
Okay, so rolling attack.
He is 14. Actually, no, he's not berserking anymore, so he's back to a 14 agility.
Okay, right. And so I will
Who's not berserking anymore?
spend
The Carpathian.
Carpathian?
Yeah.
What stopped him?
Lack of focus.
Yeah, he ran
Oh,
out of
sorry.
focus thanks to the Rose Pastor carrying him to death. And which was brilliant. Now I'm down to 2 silver bullets. So
Ooh. All right.
That's a 17 and 29 damage.
Nice. 29 damage. All right. He's still cooking. Ooh. Good thing he had trouble because he rolled a 6 Marvel 2 on the die. So let's re-roll that Marvel and take it all the way down to a 3.
Excellent.
So that's still an 18 to hit you. So that still hits melee, but it's 16 points of damage instead of 50. So,
Oh, wow.
Rose Pastor, that's all you. All right. That takes us to Jackie.
So I'm gonna go run after the pilot again and attack him.
Okay.
So, but I'm using the silver, so I don't have to do damage reduction.
Mhm.
So the first roll is 4, 5, 1 plus 4. So I need to re-roll the 5. And I got the exact same thing.
Cool. What are the odds?
Right?
1 in 6.
Um,
Okay, and that was
Does a
against
14 hit?
I think if 14 misses by 1.
Okay.
But we're at the end of the round, so again, same situation. We haven't gotten a help teammate out of Cat's Eye. She's right there, so she can again just kind of roar as she feels you kind of zipping through. Do the same thing, roar, kind of try and get his attention, and let you re-roll that lower die.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna re-roll the lowest die, and that gave me a 4, 5, 3 plus 4 equals 16. Does that hit?
That hits,
Okay, then that gets me 19 damage.
and
'Cause the
that's
5
enough to put him down.
All right.
All right. All right. So
Oh, so
yes,
the pilot's
Silver
finally down?
Dagger goes in. Ah! He turns back, falls down to the ground. And again, you've just got his flight gear and a mess of goo on the floor. So he is dead. That takes us to the top of the order in Rose Pastor.
I know that he has a lot of focus points because I already got I almost exactly how many focus points he has.
Mhm.
And it's a lot, probably more. I will definitely I hope we kill him before I'm able to like shatter him. So I think I'm just gonna inspire I guess Cullen, because Cullen is been my compadre here.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm inspiring Cullen.
All right. The pilot would have gone next, but we go to Connor.
So at this point, I was going to be attacking the pilot. I glare over at Spitfire and like you know, as like taking my kill away from me, and immediately I'm running to attack the
Yep.
Carpathian because
He is exactly 5 away, so you can get there.
I would probably, attacking the Carpathian would probably be what's the,
You running and ramming?
yeah,
You
what's the
can't
ram?
You're not
Ramming.
quite far enough away. You were exactly 5
I
away.
can't. Okay, then yeah, just run and attack, standard.
Okay. Okay.
And melee, 18.
Nice.
Good God. And
That's a hit,
actually
right?
that was a fantastic 18. It was 4 Marvel 2.
Nice.
So
That is a hit.
dot 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 dot. Bam. However, though, and it calculated damage, but I did put in the damage reduction. It calculated my damage at 84. But I need to take 2 or 3 of the hit dice off for that.
2 for him.
So it would be Marvel times 6 plus 6. Or no, it would be Marvel times 4 plus 4.
Yeah, so Marvel times 4, so 6 times 4, 24 plus what? Plus 4?
I'm asking you.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
if
let me go to your
if I
sheet.
reduce
Oh no, yeah, no, the ability doesn't change. So it's, yeah, so 6 times 4, 24 plus 6, 30 times 2, 60 points of damage through.
Nice.
That is a nice number, especially since he had 56.
Cool.
He goes down. And
Nice.
he doesn't have any clothes, or he's not wearing anything. So he's just a mist on the ground, and combat is over.
Finally.